Introduction. Many men wonder why some women walk away from men they deeply love, yet stay devoted to others who seem to hold a different kind of influence. The truth is, love alone is not always enough to keep a woman committed. What truly captivates her is something deeper, tied to psychology and emotional connection. Women may never openly admit it, but there are hidden desires and subconscious needs that determine who they remain loyal to. In this video, we'll explore the powerful psychology behind why a woman may leave a man she loves, yet never walk away from the man who understands and fulfills this unspoken secret. 1. Love isn't always enough. Love is one of the most powerful emotions a human being can experience. But the truth that many people learn the hard way is that love isn't always enough to make a relationship work or to hold two people together. In our culture, we are often taught to believe that if you just love someone deeply, everything else will fall into place. But real life shows us that lasting relationships require much more than feelings. Love is the spark, the passion, and the foundation, but it does not automatically provide trust, communication, respect, emotional maturity, shared values, or compatibility. Two people can be madly in love but still hurt each other because they lack emotional regulation, self-awareness, or the ability to compromise. They may love each other but still be toxic together if their habits, priorities, or worldviews clash. For example, love alone cannot fix financial irresponsibility, dishonesty, addiction, or unwillingness to grow. These require discipline, accountability, and consistent action. Love can motivate someone to change, but if they lack the willingness or capacity to do so, the relationship will suffer regardless of how strong the feelings are. Healthy partnerships demand effort, responsibility, and a commitment to building trust day by day, not just an emotional attachment. This means setting boundaries, practicing forgiveness without enabling destructive behavior, and respecting each other as individuals, not just romantic partners. It means realizing that sometimes walking away, even when you still love someone, is the healthiest choice for both people, because love without respect, alignment, or growth will eventually turn into pain and resentment. A lasting relationship thrives on shared values, emotional stability, and teamwork, qualities that love alone cannot sustain. So while love is beautiful and necessary, it must be supported by maturity, responsibility, and compatibility. Understanding this truth protects us from clinging to relationships that are harmful, and also reminds us that the kind of love worth keeping is not just a feeling, but a daily choice and effort to honor, respect, and grow with another person. 2. Emotional security over romance. Emotional security over romance is one of the most overlooked yet transformative lessons a person can embrace when it comes to love and relationships. Too often, people are conditioned to chase the intensity of romance, the butterflies, the passion, the thrill of being wanted, believing that these fleeting sparks define the success of a relationship. While romance has its place and can be beautiful, it is emotional security that sustains love, nourishes the bond, and allows two people to thrive together long after the initial rush fades. Emotional security is the foundation of true intimacy. It is knowing that you can be your authentic self without fear of judgment, rejection, or abandonment. It is the quiet comfort of stability, trust, and loyalty that outshines the temporary excitement of surface-level romance. Without emotional security, even the most romantic gestures lose meaning, because love cannot flourish in an environment of doubt, inconsistency, or fear. Choosing emotional security means prioritizing partners who provide consistency over chaos, reassurance over games, and depth over shallow displays of affection. It teaches us that genuine love does not need to constantly prove itself with dramatic displays. It reveals itself through small, steady actions that build trust day by day. When we value security over mere romance, we stop settling for partners who stir our emotions but leave us questioning their intentions. We begin to see that lasting happiness is not about constant highs, but about having someone who makes us feel safe during our lows. Emotional security provides a ground on which romance can grow naturally, instead of being forced or manipulated. It encourages vulnerability, because when you feel secure, you dare to share your flaws, dreams, and fears, knowing you won't be mocked or dismissed. It creates resilience in relationships, because when challenges come, as they always do, two secure people can face them together rather than being torn apart by insecurity or mistrust. Ultimately, emotional security is a form of mature love. It is not about temporary thrills, but about building a bond that endures the test of time. It shifts the focus from being desired in the moment to being valued for who you truly are every day. In the long run, romance without security burns out, but security with romance blossoms into a lifelong partnership filled with trust, peace, and genuine affection. To choose emotional security over romance is to choose love that sustains, heals, and empowers. It is to recognize that real passion does not come from chaos or uncertainty, but from the deep, unwavering comfort of knowing you are safe, supported, and truly loved. 3. Consistency builds trust. Consistency is a foundation of trust, whether in relationships, leadership, business, or personal growth, because it creates reliability and removes uncertainty from people's expectations. When you show up in a consistent manner, through your words, actions, values, and commitments, you communicate stability, integrity, and predictability, which are the very qualities that make others feel safe to rely on you. Trust is never built overnight. It is accumulated slowly, through repeated demonstrations of character and follow through over time, much like drops of water filling a jar. Imagine a leader who delivers on promises, maintains transparency, and treats people fairly day after day. Such consistency allows others to place confidence in that leader, knowing that they will not act unpredictably when faced with challenges. In personal relationships, consistency demonstrates care and loyalty. When you repeatedly show kindness, honesty, and presence, the other person feels secure in your bond and grows to trust that your love or friendship is genuine. On the other hand, inconsistency breeds doubt and insecurity. A partner who is affectionate one day and dismissive the next, or a boss who praises effort but later ignores achievement, creates confusion, making people question intentions. Consistency also strengthens self-trust, as each time you keep a promise to yourself, whether sticking to a workout plan, maintaining discipline in study, or upholding personal standards, you reinforce your own integrity and confidence. In a broader sense, consistency compounds over time. It is the invisible thread that weaves credibility, reputation, and respect. Successful brands, for example, are trusted not because of one impressive campaign, but because they consistently deliver quality and value across years. Similarly, friendships and marriages thrive not from grand gestures alone, but from the daily rhythm of reliability, small but steady acts of care that assure the other person they are valued. Yet it is important to understand that consistency is not rigidity. It does not mean refusing to adapt or learn, but rather maintaining a dependable core of values while growing and adjusting to circumstances. True consistency is alignment between what you say and what you do, across time and context, so that others can predict your character even when they cannot predict external outcomes. In a world full of uncertainty, where many people fail to follow through on their promises, consistency becomes a rare and powerful form of strength. People naturally gravitate toward those they can count on, because trust reduces anxiety, builds cooperation, and allows deeper connections to form. Therefore, if you wish to inspire confidence in others, build meaningful relationships, or earn respect in your professional life, focus less on grand speeches or occasional efforts, and more on steady, reliable actions that prove your character repeatedly. Ultimately, consistency is a currency of trust, and those who master it create bonds, opportunities, and legacies that stand the test of time. For leadership and direction matter. Leadership and direction matter because they act as the compass and driving force behind progress, growth, and success in any setting, whether it's in business, community, family, or personal development. Without leadership, even the most talented group of individuals can lose focus, drift aimlessly, and fail to harness their full potential. Leadership is not simply about holding authority. It is about providing clarity, vision, and purpose so that people understand where they are headed and why their efforts matter. A true leader inspires confidence, communicates goals effectively, and instills a sense of accountability in others, while also modeling the discipline required to achieve success. Direction, on the other hand, ensures that energy is not wasted and that all actions contribute to bigger picture. Without clear direction, organizations can fall into chaos, with individuals working hard but not necessarily working together. This often leads to frustration, burnout, and stagnation. A strong leader provides a roadmap, guiding people through challenges, making tough decisions, and reminding them of the long-term mission when distractions arise. Good leadership balances vision with practicality, understanding that motivation alone is not enough. Systems, strategies, and priorities must also be established. In times of uncertainty, direction prevents confusion and panic, while leadership builds resilience and adaptability. Together, they create an environment where individuals feel empowered to contribute their best, knowing their efforts are part of something meaningful. History shows that societies rise and fall depending on the strength of their leadership and the clarity of their direction. Nations that lacked wise leadership collapsed despite resources, while small groups with powerful leaders achieve remarkable influence. On a personal level, leadership and direction matter just as much. Without them, people wander through life reacting to circumstances instead of shaping their destiny. By taking ownership of their path, setting clear goals, and cultivating self-leadership, individuals can transform obstacles into opportunities and inspire others to do the same. Ultimately, leadership and direction are inseparable. Leadership provides a voice that calls people to action, while direction provides a map that ensures the action leads somewhere worthwhile. When combined, they create momentum, purpose, and unity, turning ordinary efforts into extraordinary achievements. 5. Respect over infatuation. Infatuation is often mistaken for love, but it is nothing more than a fleeting rush of emotions, a chemical high that clouds judgment and blinds people to reality. Respect, on the other hand, is the foundation of every lasting relationship, whether romantic, professional, or personal. When we chase infatuation, we are chasing validation, attention, or an idealized version of someone, and that almost always leads to disappointment once the initial excitement fades. Respect is different. It is steady, intentional, and earned through character, integrity, and consistent action. Choosing respect over infatuation means choosing depth over surface, patience over impulse, and truth over fantasy. Respect allows two people to see each other clearly, flaws and all, and still choose to stand side by side. It acknowledges boundaries, values differences, and builds trust that does not depend on temporary emotions. When someone respects you, they don't just admire you for how you look or what you can provide. They honor your values, your time, and your dignity. Respect means listening, not just hearing, supporting without controlling, and appreciating without possessing. Infatuation burns hot and fast, but respect fuels a steady fire that can weather storms and endure the passage of time. In our modern culture, where instant gratification and superficial attraction dominate, many confuse intensity with intimacy, but only respect can create a safe space where intimacy grows authentically. True connection is not about butterflies in the stomach, but about peace in the soul when you know you are seen, heard, and valued. If you prioritize respect, you avoid the trap of falling for illusions, and you give yourself the gift of real love, the kind that strengthens you, not consumes you. Infatuation demands, but respect gives. Infatuation fades, but respect endures. Infatuation blinds, but respect opens the eyes to truth. The lesson is clear. Never settle for the shallow thrill of being admired without being respected, because admiration without respect will not sustain you when challenges arise. Seek people who treat you with honor even when emotions are calm, who show up consistently rather than only when passion is high, and who recognize your worth even in ordinary moments. Respect creates stability, and stability creates the environment in which love can grow strong and free. To live wisely is to guard yourself against the trap of infatuation and instead cultivate respect for yourself and from others, because respect is not only the root of lasting relationships, it is also the highest expression of love. 6. Masculine presence is key. A strong masculine presence is one of the most underrated yet powerful forces a man can develop in his life. It is not about being aggressive, dominant, or controlling, but rather about embodying a calm, grounded energy that naturally commands respect and admiration without the need for force. Masculine presence means showing up fully, mind, body, and spirit, in every situation. It is the ability to hold space, to remain centered even when chaos surrounds you, and to radiate an inner strength that others instinctively feel. Women, in particular, are deeply sensitive to presence. They can tell when a man is fully engaged and rooted in himself versus when he is distracted, insecure, or absent-minded. A masculine presence makes a woman feel safe, seen, and understood, not because of what is said, but because of the unshakable energy being projected. This is why some men can walk into a room without uttering a word and still capture attention. Their presence speaks louder than anything else. The cultivation of masculine presence begins with self-mastery. A man who has clarity in his purpose, control over his emotions, and a discipline to stay aligned with his values naturally develops an aura that cannot be faked. Presence requires deep awareness. It means listening intently, making eye contact, standing tall, and breathing steadily. It also means being unattached to the need to impress or seek validation, because true presence arises when a man is comfortable with himself. The more grounded a man becomes, the less reactive he is to external circumstances. Instead of being tossed around by emotions, opinions, or environments, he serves as the anchor that others gravitate toward. This calm steadiness becomes magnetic, especially to women, who often test men unconsciously to see if their presence holds firm under pressure. In relationships, masculine presence is key because it creates polarity. Without it, attraction fades quickly. A man who is scattered, weak in energy, or constantly distracted with his phone, worries, or external drama drains the feminine. On the other hand, a man who can stand strong, lead with confidence, and create a safe emotional container for a woman allows her to relax into her femininity. Presence communicates. I am here, I am grounded, and I can handle life. This doesn't mean perfection or having all the answers. It simply means refusing to collapse under pressure and remaining steady even when things get difficult. That steadiness is what allows trust to grow, and where trust grows, love and respect naturally follow. Ultimately, masculine presence is about being rather than doing. It's not about flashy displays, clever lines, or proving worth. It's about embodying strength in silence, confidence in stillness, and certainty in the unknown. When a man develops this quality, his interactions shift dramatically. People listen when he speaks. Women respond differently to his energy, and he gains influence without needing to chase it. Masculine presence is not a trick or tactic. It is a way of being that transforms every area of life. When cultivated, it becomes a man's most valuable asset, one that cannot be taken away, and one that leaves a lasting impact on everyone he encounters. 7. Fulfilling her subconscious needs. Every relationship thrives not simply on surface-level affection or grand gestures, but on the ability to meet the unspoken, often subconscious needs that lie beneath a woman's emotions and behavior. These needs are rarely articulated directly, yet they shape her sense of safety, attraction, and long-term fulfillment in ways far more powerful than flowers or compliments ever could. At the core, every woman subconsciously seeks security, emotional, psychological, and relational. When a man shows consistency in his actions, reliability in his words, and emotional steadiness during both calm and chaotic times, she subconsciously feels anchored, which allows her to let down her guard and open her heart more fully. Beyond security, another deep subconscious need is admiration and recognition. She desires to feel seen not just for her beauty or outward qualities, but for her unique essence, her dreams, and her inner struggles. When a man notices the details others overlook, her quiet sacrifices, her evolving goals, or the effort she invests daily, she feels validated on a deeper level, which strengthens her bond with him. Additionally, women subconsciously crave polarity. The presence of a strong, grounded masculine energy awakens her feminine essence and allows her to feel free to express softness, playfulness, and vulnerability without fear or judgment. This polarity is not about dominance, but about balance. Her subconscious feels fulfilled when she is free to lean into her natural rhythm because she senses her partner is rooted and unshaken. Another hidden need is emotional attunement, the sense that her moods and signals are not dismissed or ignored but subtly understood. This requires active listening, presence, and the willingness to tune into what she is feeling beyond her words. When a man can read between the lines, noticing when she withdraws, when her tone shifts, or when her energy feels off, and responds with care rather than defensiveness, she experiences a subconscious relief that says, I am safe, I am understood, I am valued. Lastly, women have a subconscious yearning for growth and expansion within a relationship. She wants to feel that her partnership is not a stagnant routine, but a living, breathing journey where both individuals evolve together, whether through shared adventures, challenges, or the pursuit of higher purposes. By embodying leadership in his own growth and encouraging her in hers, a man fulfills her need for progress, which prevents the slow decay of passion and replaces it with a sense of ever-deepening connection. Fulfilling these subconscious needs is less about rehearsed tactics and more about embodying qualities of presence, steadiness, curiosity, and integrity. When a man aligns his energy with these principles, he naturally touches her subconscious core, sparking loyalty, admiration, and love that feels effortless because it resonates with the deepest layers of her psyche. True fulfillment in a relationship is not about what is demanded or spoken, but about the unseen ways we provide what the heart secretly longs for.